Hey guys, so this video is going to be about the upcoming lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. It's going to be on October 28th, and in Pacific time, it's going to be at 1:42 a.m. So let's talk about this lunar eclipse. First, it's going to be partial lunar eclipse, so it's not full, but partial in the full moon, which is going to be the Hunter's blood moon in the sign of Taurus. So Taurus rules Venus, co-ruler with Libra, and it is a fixed earth sign. So themes around this is going to be stability, security, also what's comforting, what brings you the sense of comfort and securities overall. And it's also very significant to end out the last 18-month cycle of the nodes. So we had, before it went into Aries and Western, it was in, the North Node was in Taurus and the South Node was in Scorpio. So the two fixed signs. And a lot of the eclipses around those times and themes in general have been so polarizing because there have been so many planets in Taurus, and there still are, heavy hitters like Uranus and Jupiter. So overall, it's just been very taxing, and took a lot out of a lot of the Taurians out there. If you have a lot of Taurus placements, for example, it's probably been very rough for you. It's been a whole lot of like transformative experiences, and all that kind of stuff. So Scorpios have also really been drugged through the ringer as well. So if you have a lot of Scorpio placements, it's been really difficult for you too. But anyways, so it marks the end of the previous 18-month, right? And so let's see. This is kind of like the grand finale, so to speak. So we're ending out this phase and we're starting out a brand new cycle of themes here. Taurus eclipse is going to be very emotional. It'll be a good time to release any pent-up angers or frustrations you've been holding on to. However, just be very careful because this lunar eclipse, you know how some eclipses, it takes time to kind of unfold? Well, I think that this eclipse is not going to take that long of a time to unfold, because I think that the fact that we have Uranus there in Taurus, Uranus, the moon, and Jupiter, and I think Jupiter's going to be, isn't Jupiter retrograde right now? Anyways, I have to look into that. But nonetheless, it's a lot of big players there. So that's a lot of stuff going on. Not to mention the fact that Mars is going to be going into Scorpio, and don't even get me started on that. So that's going to be a whole nother thing. And keeping in mind that the sign of Scorpio is the opposite to Taurus. That was the South Node. So anyways, this axis is very focused on the pleasures of life. Whether it's like enjoying yourself and all, indulging in the classic, fine wines or whatever kind of stuff. Because Taurus rules the body and indulgence, while Scorpio, its opposite, also rules the body, but in the other regions, which is it rules the sex, it rules taboo affairs, all that kind of stuff. So Taurus is kind of like the life aspect, and then Scorpio is the death aspect. In the end of this cycle, it's going to represent something in your life that you're no longer going to give life or energy to or pleasure to. It's something that you realize you've outgrown or is no longer important to you in your life, or doesn't serve a good purpose in your life. So just look at wherever Taurus and Scorpio is in your birth chart, and I will name off according to rising signs where that would be for you if you don't know, and hopefully you know your rising sign at least. But it could also affect your sun and moon to a lesser degree, but the rising sign is the most accurate. So let's see. So the most affected signs from this eclipse will be Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leos. Yes, all 4 fixed signs are going to be affected the most. So anyone with their sun, moon, or rising, or north node or south nodes in Taurus or Scorpio are going to feel this eclipse the most. For Taurus natives especially, the lunar eclipse is in your first house. Going off your rising sign, this is your house of self. And it's basically going to be like shedding an old part of you. You are becoming a new person now. And it was bound to happen. And you always kind of knew that. You were shedding off your old skin and transforming into something new. So just kind of ask yourself, what makes you feel happy? Allow yourself to feel loved, and self-love is super important. Renewing that, embracing that part of yourself, allowing yourself to have fun too. But it's definitely a big monumental shift for Taurus, first and foremost. Scorpios, risings, sun or moon, but mainly the rising sign. This particular eclipse is the last chapter in this volume of Scorpio's love life. The reason why is because it's in the 7th house for Scorpio rising. Makes sense, right? So this is the lunar eclipse involving emotions, aligned with Jupiter and Uranus in the 7th house, where Taurus is in Scorpio, for Scorpio risings. The last 2 years have been major ups and downs for you and your partnerships. So even if you don't have like a lover, it'll be partnerships, bonds even, because 7th house is about relationships and connections. So Scorpios will likely be breathing a sigh of relief as the pressure of the last 2 years finally lessens. So in a way, it's like you're gonna release more and more of that pressure. Whatever used to bother you as much in the past 2 years, it's going to lessen. It won't have so much as a hold on you anymore. Aquarius is going to be in your 4th house. So Aquarius rising, you could feel closure in your career, whether it's releasing an old career path or getting back to work after a long hiatus. It could switch things up for you, and therefore, even though it's in your 4th house of home, maybe it's because home matters were taking the front stage, and so now it's kind of, you're able to get back into your career field more without so much cluttering the mind. You could always, take it as you will. It is in the 4th house though, so something related to family and then home and career as well. Leo natives, you'll be feeling this closure in your family zone. So it's actually like, it's flip-flopping in a way. Interestingly enough, yeah. So if that's the case, then I almost feel like with Taurus and Scorpio, it's flip-flopped as well. Because that to me means that Taurus might be able to find some kind of love now, because they were lacking that in themselves, right? And now Scorpio is going to be more focused on themselves, so it's kind of flip-flopping in a way. But yeah, we'll feel this closure in their family zone, which indicate the release of giving too much or seeking out approval from family members. So Leo risings, you might be taking on more of a lead role. You might be just deciding to not really care so much about what your family thinks all the time, or trying to get validation somewhere. You're probably ready to just release that perception, right? So, but yeah, those 4 signs, major transformation. Now let's look at the other signs here. So if you are an Aries rising, it's going to be in your 2nd house. The pressure is lifting a bit from the past couple of weeks, so embrace the comforts. And by the way, the 2nd house is ruled by Taurus, so you get to kind of embrace more of a comfortable vibe from this. It won't be so chaotic for you. Gemini risings, it's going to fall in your 12th house. So your intuition is going to be really triggered. It's going to ignite in some way. So embrace the intuitive hits you might feel within your body. Because 12th house is the secret house, right? It's the other side of the veil. Cancer risings, it's going to fall in your 11th house. So embrace the support and comfort you receive from your communities, because 11th house is all about friends, communities. Virgo rising, it's going to hit your 9th house. Embrace the comfort and pleasure in your explorations. Book that first class ticket if you can. So it's kind of like 9th house is all about foreign travels, distant lands, cultures, learning about new things, spiritual higher knowledge. Libra rising, it's going to hit your 8th house. Look back on the last 2 years, Libra, and notice how your relationships to your body and to money have transformed, because new roads are lying ahead for you, especially since the next 18 months transformation cycle involves you in the South Node. So you're in the past position. It's your time, it's your turn to look at the things of your past and really try to make amends with them in some way. And Sagittarius rising, it's going to hit your 6th house. So find ways to add more pleasure and rest into your daily life. So taking it easy. Try to be more aware and conscious of your health and allow your body to feel good instead of making it feel completely erratic all the time. So you don't have to be constantly adrenaline rush all the time. Your body needs to just feel the calm every now and then. Let it relax, let it heal, and all that. For Capricorn risings, it's going to hit your 5th house. Enjoy the ways that play, pleasure, and sexuality have become more available to you recently. So it's going to be fun for you, Capricorn risings, because 5th house is a very fun house. It's all about having fun, kids, but just be careful because it does involve kids. So be extra careful with that. If you're not wanting to have kids, it could definitely bring some. So Pisces rising is going to be hitting your 3rd house. So this really speaks for your desires in communication. You need to speak up. You need to stand up for what you don't let people just walk over you. This is your time to really start working on speaking up on your needs, but in a grounded way. Okay, because Taurus is very grounded, stability. So this is a good opportunity to dive into that. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics of this. And just make sure that you're aware of where your Taurus is at all times. Your Scorpio placements, you can look those up for free. It's all about stability and security. But then also, on top of that, recognizing that in order to achieve that stability and security, there's some things that need to change and transform. Some things need to be let go. Some things need to die out in order for those things to really come to fruition. So that's the main theme here overall. I hope you liked it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.